Thank you. The reservoir spillway continues to release a massive amount of water tonight. They're hoping to lower the level, but not send too much downstream where neighborhoods are, of course, already underwater. 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons live at the spillway now to lead off our team coverage.
Good evening, Megan. You know, until tonight, 75,000 cubic feet of water per second would have been almost unthinkable, but it's actually a little less than what they were putting out earlier in the morning. Operators trying to relieve pressure on this waterway and prepare for what could be coming Tuesday. And for residents dealing with all of this flood water, they're really eager to find out when it's going to get out of their homes and businesses. At Harbor Pines in Ridgeland, police stood watch over the homes that are still blocked off from traffic. Blanca Escobedo and Mary Cruz admit they are worried about their homes.
The trailers in the back, they're deep in there.
Does it make you nervous?
A little bit.
Just never know what water's going to do, do
Yeah,
you?
you never know.
As floodwaters still creep closer to homes late Sunday night, emergency responders reminded residents that this flooding event is far from over.
We are still in a critical situation. An evacuation order is still in effect.
Even if the river reaches its crest as projected Monday morning, the flooding threats could linger for days after.
The reservoir has reduced outflows. That's true. We look for the river levels to drop. They're not dropping yet.
And reservoir operators are trying to lower the Big Lake to provide storage space for the next rain system on the way Tuesday. Massive amounts of water still being released from the reservoir spillway gates, and emergency responders urging residents to heed the warnings and stay out of that water.
If these parents don't hear anything out of this news conference today, keep these kids out of this water. It's a lot of contamination, a lot of sewer. It's not safe. It's a lot of swift water, a lot of unknowns. We don't need a tragedy out of this.
We see the water coming out of the spillway here, but there's still a lot of water coming into the reservoir. Remember, this waterway took on more than 3 feet of water over a 33,000 acre lake in less than a week's time. The hope is to continue to release 75,000 cubic feet through tomorrow, hoping not to release too much water downstream that could cause more flooding problems. Live at the spillway, Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
Thank you, Scott. You know, one of the best ways to see the scope of the flooding is our Eagle Eye 16. We sent it up over Jackson Prep today. There is water circling much of the campus, some severe flooding on the Jackson Prep baseball field. Their next home game is set for February 22nd, but the coaches there tell us that game right now is up in the air. One man in Northeast Jackson says his home is not only flooded, but it was broken into overnight. Greg Jordan lives on Canton Avenue Estates. He tells us he evacuated and was headed out of town this morning when a neighbor called him about 7 a.m. to let him know someone had been in his house. He says he was an hour and a half away at the time. He turned around, he wanted to see it for himself and call police. He says the thieves took a generator, a PlayStation, TV, even food and laundry detergent that was inside his pantry.
People are so low down. We just found out that our house has been broken into. I thought we already been flooded out. Having to find a place to live for right now. It's sad that you cannot leave your house in a time of distress like this. Somebody went in our house, vandalized the house, took all kinds of stuff that we left back in there. I mean, like, who does this? Who would break in someone's house at a time like this?
Now, David says he wasn't the only one on his street who was broken into. We reached out to police about the case. At a briefing this afternoon, police told us they had officers working 12-hour emergency patrol shifts to keep these evacuated neighborhoods safe. People who live off Westbrook Road in Northeast Jackson hit hard by the flooding. 16 WAPT's Ross Adams joins us live now with their story. Ross.
Yeah, it's a good thing they lowered the crest for the river because things are getting pretty bad out here. This section of Westbrook Road, as you can see, already taking on water. And yes, we've seen people trying to drive through this water. Across the street at Meadow Oak Park Drive, many of the homes look like they're surrounded by a lake. Many people who live off Westbrook Road evacuated their homes before the floodwaters trapped them inside. On Meadow Oak Park Drive, the street is mostly dark because Entergy turned off power to those homes. On the next street over,
I'm high and dry, and I'm going to stay here.
Frank Elliott says he's staying put even though the water in front of his home is starting to cover the street.
That being said, we're on a little island here, so if the water had come up, I do have a canoe, okay? and I'd have friends pick me up at the church so we can row around the corner to the church and go wherever I need to go.
Just to be on the safe side, the family put furniture on top of beds and a couch. Elliot said he moved into the house 2 years before the 1979 flood inundated it. He showed us the watermark.
We left this as a constant reminder to us, right, of what happened to us.
The house also flooded in 1983. Elliot says he gambled it wouldn't happen again this year.
The gamble is, that's 35 years. How much land and terrain in our river basin has changed in 35 years.
Now, the city tells us they have had about 500 homes and they have sustained some type of flood damage. They won't know exactly how much damage there is until they're able to do an assessment, a full assessment, starting next week. Of course, that all depends on if all the water has receded. Live in Northeast Jackson, Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
Thanks, Ross. The rising river has residents on a Rankin County street concerned about the additional rain we're expecting this week. They're already cut off from their main road in Flowood. 16 WAPT's Adam McWilliams live now on Mangum Drive. Adam.
That's right, Megan. I'm here live on Mangum Drive, and you can see the floodwaters surrounding the road and even across the road here. And that's why Flowood officials put up that barricade around 5 o'clock this evening to keep people from driving down this flooded roadway. And I spoke with residents on Mangum and Flynn Drive, and to put it bluntly, Megan, they are scared about the upcoming rain this week. Residents along Flynn and Mangum Drive in Flowood watching the Pearl River with worry, concerned about this week's expected rain.
I've been here since 1999. Never seen the levees as high. The road, it'll get closed on one side or the other, but not all the way closed like this. I've never seen that.
Chris Cockrell says he and his other neighbors are concerned about this week's rain because of the already swollen Pearl River and the big changes in his neighborhood since the floods of 1979 and 1983.
That was way before all of this new construction. I mean, we've got a whole new neighborhood across the street. That used to be a big runoff area for a lot of water. Well, they dug a big hole, filled it up with water, used that dirt to make all these house pads. Nobody knows where it's going to go.
Flowood officials closed Mangum Drive around 5 p.m. Sunday evening because of the water rising across the road. Further north at the Jackson Country Club, backup from the swollen Pearl is creeping up to homes on St. Andrews Drive in Northeast Jackson. Water now almost covering fences and completely covering some yards. With rain amounts from 2 to as much as 5 inches of rain, Chris summed up how he and his neighbors are feeling.
Freaked. Absolutely freaked out about this.
And I think a lot of people share his sentiment, Megan. And when we look at the rain forecast, more significant flooding up and down Flowood Drive towards the treetops there. That's also an area of concern as well. Water in homes and some businesses and even a church down Flowood Drive. But we're live here on Mangum Drive. Adam McWilliams, 16 WAPT News. Megan.
A lot of anxious folks as they think about the possibility of more rain coming this week. Adam, thank you. A local student is reporting on the flooding at his own school.
This is Samuel LaPro here bringing you coverage of the flooding that is happening on the campus of Jackson Academy.
Samuel Long of Jackson Academy went out and reported on the flooding at JA. Some people taking their chances in inner tubes, others were in kayaks on what is normally dry land. The flood overtaken many parts of the campus, including Raider Park.
JV basketball championship games had to be moved to MRA on Saturday because of the flooding here happening in the packed parking lot. The softball field, baseball field, and track are fully engulfed in water. The altitude tennis courts are fully engulfed in water, and the middle tennis court is mostly covered in water.
A freshman at Jackson Academy. He says he's an aspiring news personality. Not off to a bad start. Well, we've seen all kinds of wildlife displaced by the floodwater. Deer, birds, fish too. Check out this video. Ben Gray just reaching into the water on Old Brandon Road and catching a fish, a big fish. This video was provided by Kenneth Callahan. The fish you're seeing as he walks closer to the camera there is a bowfin. And in case you're wondering, Gray didn't take that fish home. He returned it safely to the water. And we should mention here, authorities say you should never walk into floodwater.